What if I told you that your body decides whether to burn fat or store it before you've even eaten breakfast? It sounds unbelievable, but science suggests that the first hour after waking plays a much bigger role in your metabolism than most people realize. During these 60 minutes, your body transitions from a fasting state into an active one. Hormones begin to shift, your internal clock resets, and your brain starts sending signals that influence everything from hunger and energy levels to how efficiently you burn calories throughout the day. The problem is that most people unknowingly sabotage this process. The first thing they do after opening their eyes is grab their phone. Then they reach for coffee before drinking water. Some skip breakfast completely, while others eat sugary foods that send their blood sugar on a roller coaster before 9 a.m. Individually, these habits don't seem dangerous, but repeated every single morning, they can quietly work against your metabolism. And here's the surprising part. The issue isn't laziness, it's timing. Your body has a biological schedule that's been evolving for thousands of years. When your morning routine works with that schedule, everything from focus to fat burning becomes more efficient. When it works against it, your body has to spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. Let's start with one of the biggest mistakes almost everyone makes. Your body wakes up before you do. Most people think they wake up when they open their eyes. In reality, your body starts preparing for the day long before that. As morning approaches, your brain begins increasing cortisol. Now, cortisol has a terrible reputation because it's often called the stress hormone, but that's only half the story. In healthy amounts, cortisol is essential. It's what helps wake you up. It raises alertness. It increases blood sugar slightly so your brain has immediate fuel, and it prepares your body to become active. This natural rise is known as the cortisol awakening response, and it's completely normal. The problem begins when we immediately pile more stress onto the body. Imagine this: your alarm goes off. Before you've even sat up, you're checking emails, reading bad news, scrolling through social media, replying to work messages. Your brain hasn't even fully awakened, yet it's already processing hundreds of pieces of information. Instead of allowing cortisol to rise and fall naturally, you're feeding your brain more stress. That can leave you feeling mentally exhausted before your day has even started. Many people assume they're simply not morning people, but often they've trained their mornings to become stressful, and stress has a surprising relationship with belly fat. Long-term elevated stress can influence eating behavior, sleep quality, and overall metabolic health. People under chronic stress are also more likely to crave high-calorie foods and struggle with weight management. That's why protecting your first few minutes after waking may matter more than you think. Mistake number 1: reaching for your phone first. Let's be honest, most of us do it. The alarm rings, you unlock your phone. 5 minutes later, you've already seen emails, messages, headlines, sports scores, and videos. Without realizing it, you've handed control of your attention to everyone else. But the damage isn't only mental. Bright screens immediately strengthen your brain. Notifications trigger small bursts of dopamine. Social media encourages comparison. News creates emotional reactions. Your brain becomes reactive instead of intentional. Think of your attention like a battery. Every notification takes a little bit of it away. By the time you actually start your day, you've already spent valuable mental energy. Instead, try something simple. Leave your phone alone for the first 20 to 30 minutes. Open your curtains, take a few deep breaths, stretch, walk around your home. Give your brain a chance to wake up naturally before flooding it with information. It seems like a tiny habit, but tiny habits repeated every day create surprisingly large changes over time. Mistake number 2: drinking coffee before water. Now let's talk about the habit millions of people refuse to question: coffee. Coffee itself isn't the enemy. In fact, research has linked moderate coffee consumption with several health benefits. Coffee itself isn't the enemy. In fact, research has linked moderate coffee consumption with several health benefits. The mistake is drinking it before doing something even more important: hydrating. After sleeping for 7 or 8 hours, your body naturally loses water through breathing and perspiration. Even mild dehydration can contribute to headaches, reduce concentration, and lower physical performance. Yet many people skip water completely and go straight to caffeine. Coffee has a mild diuretic effect in some people, but more importantly, it often replaces the hydration your body actually needs first thing in the morning. A simple glass or two of water after waking helps replace lost fluids and signals your body that the day has begun. Then, about 60 to 90 minutes later, coffee often becomes much more effective. Why? Because your natural cortisol levels have already started declining. Instead of stacking caffeine on top of already elevated cortisol, you're using it when your body is naturally becoming less alert. The result? Many people experience steadier energy and fewer afternoon crashes. And that's only the beginning. Because one of the most powerful things you can do in your first hour doesn't involve food, supplements, or exercise. It involves something your body has depended on since long before electricity existed. One of the most powerful things you can do during your first hour after waking doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from the sun. Get sunlight before you get screen light. For thousands of years, humans woke up with the sunrise. Long before alarm clocks and smartphones existed, our internal body clock relied on one simple signal: natural light. When sunlight enters your eyes in the morning, it sends a message to a tiny region in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, often referred to as your body's master clock. This clock helps regulate your circadian rhythm, the internal system that controls when you feel awake, sleepy, hungry, and even how your hormones behave throughout the day. Morning sunlight tells your brain the day has started. As a result, melatonin, the hormone responsible for making you sleepy, begins to decrease, while hormones that promote alertness and energy begin to stabilize. Many people wake up indoors, walk straight into a dark kitchen, and spend the next hour under artificial lighting while staring at a phone or laptop. Their brain never receives a strong signal that morning has truly begun. The result? Low energy, brain fog, poor focus, and sometimes difficulty falling asleep later that night. You don't need to spend an hour outside. Even 5 to 10 minutes of natural daylight shortly after waking can help reinforce your body's natural rhythm. A short walk, standing on your balcony, having your coffee near a window. Small habits like these can have surprisingly large effects when repeated every day. Move before you sit. Now imagine two different mornings. In the first one, someone wakes up, checks their phone, grabs coffee, and sits at a desk for the next 3 hours. In the second, someone wakes up, drinks water, walks outside for a few minutes, stretches, or does a few body weight movements before starting work. Who do you think feels more awake? The answer isn't just psychological. Movement increases blood circulation, helping oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles and brain more efficiently. It also helps loosen joints that have remained still during sleep. This doesn't mean you need an intense workout at 6 a.m. In fact, for many people, that isn't realistic. Simple movement is enough. A 5-minute walk, light stretching, a few squats, push-ups, gentle mobility exercises. The goal isn't burning calories. The goal is waking up your body. Think of it like warming up an engine before driving. You're preparing your system for the rest of the day. And there's another hidden benefit. Morning movement often encourages healthier choices later. People who begin the day with one positive habit are more likely to continue making positive decisions throughout the afternoon and evening. Momentum matters. Should you eat breakfast immediately? This is one of the most debated topics in health. Some people believe breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Others prefer intermittent fasting. So who's right? The truth is, it depends. There's no single breakfast strategy that works perfectly for everyone. But there are a few principles most experts agree on. If you're genuinely hungry in the morning, don't ignore it. Choose foods that provide lasting energy rather than a quick sugar rush. A breakfast rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber tends to keep people fuller for longer than sugary cereals or pastries. Eggs, Greek yogurt, oats, fruit, nuts, whole grain toast. These foods release energy more gradually than highly processed breakfast foods. On the other hand, if you're practicing intermittent fasting and it suits your lifestyle, that's perfectly reasonable too. The key is making an intentional choice. Not skipping breakfast because you're rushing out the door, not eating donuts simply because they're convenient. Whatever approach you choose, consistency matters far more than perfection. The first hour is about signals. Here's something many people misunderstand. Your body isn't keeping score of one single morning. It's paying attention to patterns. Every morning, your brain receives signals. Are we hydrated? Are we moving? Have we seen daylight? Are we under stress? Is it time to be alert? Or is the body confused? Those signals influence countless processes happening quietly beneath the surface. Energy production, hormone regulation, appetite, mood, sleep quality. Metabolism. One poor morning won't ruin your health, just like one healthy morning won't transform it overnight. But months and years of repeated mornings? That's where real change happens. Because your first 60 minutes don't just shape your morning, they often shape every decision that follows. Before we wrap up, if you're interested in learning more about natural ways to support your health, there's one resource I genuinely recommend. It's called Wild Women Remedies, and it covers topics like gut health, hormone balance, healthy aging, natural remedies, and overall wellness in a practical, easy-to-follow way. If you'd like to learn more, I've left a link in the description below. Now let's get back to the video. If there's one thing to remember from this video, let it be this. Your first hour after waking is not just another part of your day. It's the foundation for everything that comes after it. You don't need an extreme morning routine. You don't need expensive supplements, and you definitely don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. to become healthier. Start with the basics. Drink water before coffee. Get a few minutes of natural sunlight. Move your body. Stay away from your phone for a little while, and give your brain the chance to wake up on its own terms. These aren't dramatic changes, but they're the kind of simple habits that quietly compound over time. One better morning becomes one better day. One better day becomes one better week, and enough better weeks can completely change your health. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more science-backed content that helps you understand how your body really works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.